Oh, man, my
Welcome to the Deep Dive Halftime Show. It is, of course, the break between set 1 and set 2 from Iga Swiatek and the Arena Sabalenka match. What did you see from Sabalenka that really got her across the line in set 1, Andy?
Just not making mistakes. I mean,
Right?
She looks confident. Her forehand looks great, and she's not making a bunch of unforced errors. So,
I have an update. She's been broken.
I was going to say, I was mad that I was going to not bet this over. So anyway, back to the fucking basics. The football game is also happening, and boy howdy, this is my takeaway. And I missed part of it because I had to go help somebody get checked in, Kelly. But don't you feel like the Rams should be down by a lot more? Turnover.
It should not be a tie.
It should not be a tie. It should be. It should be Bills by about 7 to 10 points. The one turnover was just a really good hustle play by that. I honestly, it's so loud in there. I like watching football at home on my TV. I love Circa and I love Vegas, but man, I love hearing the names of players a lot too. So, hustle play by him, just going in and snatching that ball. The fumble for the youngster, that happens. You start a rookie running back, you're gonna lose balls sometimes, and the interception was I don't know, like just maybe a little out of character for the Bills to be this careless, sloppy with the ball, and not a good start, despite having the scripted plays look great. Honestly, the second drive, everything's looking good. Josh Allen's finding his way around pressure, finding open receivers. That first touchdown play, my God, you can see it developing. It's like, oh no. These guys, these two free rushers going right over their heads. I had no idea who was standing there, but and as it turned out, it was Gabe Davis. That doesn't help anybody for first touchdown scorer. I certainly didn't have him. And
no.
My takeaway is the Bills should be up by lots more. And we talked about maybe doing a second half over just based off that. I think we can just agree. The Bills' offense looks good. They probably won't turn the ball over 3 more times. What about the other half of the equation? Can you get 10 to 14 points out of the Rams? What do you think of the Rams' offense right now?
100% you can. Oh, yeah. They've gotten some of the rust. They felt like they shook the rust off on that one drive. They had 3 absolute stinkers. Oh, by the way, 1-0 on the NFL season so far. So I think I'm going to call it a season, finish 100%, tout my record last year. First half under was not really much of a sweat. The fact that they got to 20 felt like, there was a little bit of luck there. Getting to 20, aided by the fact that Sean McVay went for it on 4th down. Like when that happened, did you think like, oh, they're going to try to get him off sides and take a timeout and then kick a field goal? Or did you think that, McVay might actually go for it here?
I always think people are going to go for it now.
Okay, can we focus on that play a little more? So it was delay a game marginal. The broadcast carried a lot of water for the refs, saying that that's the right way to call it. That's fine. But the play call itself was very risky for a 4th down and 2, which is interesting. Just if you're thinking of McVay as like a little bit of a risk-averse person, like now that he's got a Super Bowl, did something change in the offseason where he's not only going for it on 4th down, but he's doing those attempts on 4th down? That's got to definitely be something to watch here. See if there's any more 4th down attempts in the second half. It did feel it was just cool and out of character. That got the Rams definitely on track. I liked some of the adjustments that they made in game in the first half, and I would expect that there are adjustments to be made in the second half where this is going to be a lot of press the Cooper Kupp button 100 times. Like seriously, like you don't overthink it. You want to mix in a little.
Oh my God, I didn't. I wanted that to be a touchdown.
Hendo looks fresh. Yeah.
I wanted that to be a touchdown. I yelled touchdown. I threw my arms up, and then I'm like, man, there's no chance he tapped both. Like it felt like the second one just wasn't there, and then they showed that slow. I'm like, God damn it, son.
Dude he's a goddamn magician.
He is, picking up right where he left off.
So here's where I feel like.
Go ahead.
The Rams are scoring points in the second half of this game. Well, let's put that to bed. So what do we do with that information?
I mean, are you taking the Rams? Are you taking the Rams team total? Or are you taking the over?
That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know. I'm doing a little shopping right now because
Oh, are you? Okay.
Nice disparity. I should have had like 10 tabs open to start this. So,
you know what I tried?
If you can get a 25.5 at a reasonable price, I would bet that.
I tried using a very popular odds aggregator, or not popular, but a relatively new on the scene odds aggregator that may be a Trojan horse for stealing your information. No confirmation one way or the other. And I am not successfully seeing what the lines look like at the most important places. So I'm opening Chris fundamentally, and they are offering a minus 155 on +3. Well, move it. Stop.
I know. I'm seeing that. I don't like
25 and a half is the total. Over is minus 123. So I think people basically exactly where we are here. I think you have to decide. We have to decide if we want Rams, we're taking Rams money line plus 105. If we want over, we got to bet it somewhere else.
We have not brought up Queen Elizabeth yet. And I'm not going, like, the reason I went to my hotel is because the circus is so loud.
Everyone grieves in their own way. Some of us in a dark hotel room, others of us in the library. You know, we all have a different grieving process here.
I'm taking it over 26 here.
You're going over 26. I like that look. I think that was the plan in general. I like the Rams money line as well.
It's on the
Rams
move.
team total. Rams team total is going to be 13. I kind of like that, honestly.
There we go.
Let me see what we can get down.
Some places have 27. And then also, like somebody said, they thought I'd be loaded. I've had
You are loaded.
Like, this heat kind of sweats them out, and honestly, it's I've had a couple waters. I'll catch up, and I got up at 3:30 in the morning to catch a flight, so I'm a little tuckered out. I'm gonna need some vodka Red Bulls, I guess, like I'm 22 again.
Vodka Red Bull's nothing to be ashamed of at all.
No, except
like, you do what you got to do.
Nervous system.
What is it? Oh, why didn't somebody?
I'm
tell
sure
me
it's
this?
not good to pound uppers and downers in the same breath. That's what killed Elvis, dude.
You got to keep yourself.
All right, total yardage
on the level.
179 to 106. They each had the ball 5 times. The Rams have gotten a lot of their drives started with turnovers, so that's probably what evens out in the second half. 5 penalties, pretty even on that. The Bills have not been in the red zone yet. Their lone touchdown and their field goal came from outside.
We can break down some more Bills in a second.
That's I'm just kind of looking at this. The biggest thing here, and this is what I was looking for: yards per pass, 6.7 for the Bills. Josh Allen, besides the turnover, looked really sharp finding his guys. Diggs looks good. Obviously, Gabe looks good. The Bills, while probably a little worried about him for this right now for this game, I'm not worried about this team for the season.
No, not at all. Interestingly enough, BetOnline is not offering points. They have a pick'em hanging, minus 125 for the Bills, plus 105 for the Rams. Total there is 26. The team total for the Rams there, over 13, is minus 115. I like that a little better than over 26 minus 110, but I think they're basically the same bet. I'm considering Rams pick'em. I kind of think that is they get the ball first. The Bills, I don't think they.
What is Bookmaker doing?
I don't think the Bills.
I can get a pick 'em for 105.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking.
I'm not taking that because I made a small bet on the Rams money line pregame and I have a better number.
Okay, so stick to plan A. Over 20, over 26.
Yeah, let's just take it over.
All right, done deal. Over 26 minus 110. Is the
7
second
units.
half banger. We need 4 touchdowns to make that happen. 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals gets us there, right?
Somebody did ask how many units. Maybe we should touch on that. For the most part, these are smaller bets because we are forced to make one every halftime. We will occasionally say, this is an actual edge. I think this is a very good bet, and we're actually betting this for fair sums.
This is an angle that was hopefully going to materialize, but not quite as good as it did. Bills with the lead was better.
And if you have a pregame under, you have like a 5-point middle.
So because the risk,
it's not like the middle includes 48, 49.
It does.
So
it includes 47. It includes 47.
That's fair.
The most likely
47,
outcome. The most likely outcome of this game right now is 47 points. If you didn't already know that.
I have not run into Simon Hunter yet. I have all my football cards with me. I'm hanging with Noops. I'm hanging with Kelly Garrett at Big Ten Watto out in the desert right now. I bitched at him about how long it took him to get here from the airport. He's like, "Hey, I have to go through customs. I'm not from America." I forgot about that. We just walk off the plane, Drew, and we're at an Uber. This poor son of a bitch had to ask if he had any fruits and vegetables with him. Go through the whole spiel.
That's rough. What a committed friend. Just for the sake of interest, right now, Bookmaker. BetOnline, I have some significant words for, and we'll talk about that off the air. But BetOnline, Bookmaker's taking to win $10K on the total, and they're taking to win
20 on the side.
20 on the side.
25 on the
that's cool.
20 on the money line.
Good on them. And you can read that. So good job.
The thing is, they're hanging the weird spread. They're hanging the 3 minus 154.
Yeah, they're giving you the money line too. They're giving you both. I think
maybe that's why they're doing it, because they're already giving you a pick-up price. So.
Right. Okay, let's break down the game a little bit more now that we have our play locked in at 26. Yeah, you were right. Josh Allen was crisp.
Talk about the Stafford interception.
I thought that was a decent play it was a bad throw by him, but he's got rust.
And that's something
Stafford hasn't played at all. He hasn't played all preseason. He's rusty. It was a rusty throw. You see Stafford do that from time to time. Didn't really tell me much. I thought
but overall, I'm not. I don't think I'm overly worried about the elbow. Besides that, and because that bad throw wasn't that bad throw wasn't oh shit, he didn't do that last year. He had 17 interceptions last year.
Sure.
He does that occasionally. So
13
of 17 for 95 yards.
He has not looked crisp.
Fine.
Chris, he has not looked crisp. But that's okay. Their adjustments are there. He can keep going and pressing the Cooper Kupp button in the second half. I think he's going to put up
Cooper Kupp has 8 catches already.
Oh my
He's going to have 200 catches this year.
Wow. Okay, a couple other thoughts. Josh Allen looks good generally. One bad pass. That happens. He does that.
Yeah, the other interception.
The first pick wasn't
got ripped out of the arms.
Which it's not got ripped out of the arms, but I was already kind of lukewarm on McKenzie. He probably loses some snaps to Jamison Crowder now. Interesting that the wide receiver one in terms of snap count so far has been Gabe Davis. That doesn't feel like a demerit on Stephon Diggs at all. It feels like they're kind of more correctly governing his usage this season to a degree so that he is not burned out at the end of the season. They
have a pretty lofty goal. And
yes, and that's fine. And same with the Josh Allen rushing, not trying to not giving him any designed looks, just kind of reining him in is good. He took a shot in the shoulder in the first drive that I was like, it wasn't serious, but it was we don't need to be doing that a bunch this year.
We don't want that.
Devin Singletary and the running game otherwise for the Bills is still garb. Aaron Donald is still an absolute beast of a human being. Decent return on your investment so far already for Von Miller, but I would expect that the Rams scheme him out of the second half of this game. If Von Miller makes another play in this game, I'll be a little surprised.
So Josh, I didn't realize this too, because I was standing at the book. I wasn't looking at stats for the most part, but Josh Allen has thrown 20 passes, 3 incompletions. Only one of them was actually an incompletion. Two were interceptions.
Yeah,
he is 17 of 20.
Incredible. He's been incredible.
That's my question. Granted, that the interceptions aren't going to look good for counting stats, but how are you feeling about your Josh Allen MVP ticket right now?
I mean, it depends if the Bills win or lose. That's the only way this gains or loses equity today.
Yeah. And you're right, guys in the chat. James Cook might have moved down the batting order.
I gotta give a dap to a gambling Twitter personality out there. There were a lot of people who have full-time jobs doing fantasy football analysis at all levels of media And I didn't hear anyone except for the Hitman making a case that this was a Hendo over Cam Akers under game. But he had the nuts on that because the usage has been lopsided, to put it politely. Do you think
4-1, and Cam Akers has no yardage?
I'm assuming that was information based, so credit to him for having just absolutely rock solid info. But I didn't hear. I mean, no one was like really like especially high on Cam Akers that I heard of. But I think by all accounts, from a fantasy space standpoint, it was that Cam Akers was expected to be RB1, and it's clearly Henderson in this game for whatever reason.
And that's the thing about an injury. You don't just you can't lose your job to, you can and you will lose your job to an injury. If somebody's playing better, somebody's giving more practice, or a coach just likes someone better. So yeah, that's a nice look there. I didn't play much for props on this one.
Kind of important they're down here for our over. If this fumbling recover, lost 7 yards. We need a Bills score. If this, so that was why this was a lower type of a stake, in my opinion. At least instead of being like, hey, this is the break out the hammer overplay. Because it's tied, there'll be a little bit more inclination to play it close, as opposed to, the idea of the Bills continuing to try to pad a lead and the Rams desperately trying to catch up. And that was the game state you wanted to really support a strong second half overlook. We need a Bills score and probably a Bills stop and score to get that right now. But that was a terrible punt. I would say Buffalo to score a touchdown on this drive should probably be priced in the minus 130 range.
Pretty much at half field, so.
Yeah.
All right, Drew.
Andy, tell me more about. Tell me some funny stuff about Vegas, and then I'll cut you loose here.
It's been pretty light. I needed to kill some time, so I played craps, and a lovely Asian gentleman was throwing, and I waited. He hit a point. I don't like buying in until we're off, so I bought in, and I played for like 20 minutes. I only saw 2 sevens the whole time. And not just like bad sevens, like 2 sevens, no sevens even while we were off. Like I wasn't even playing. I wish I was playing aggressively. I wish I would have been drunk. So I had to press the shit out of that, but made a bunch of money on craps right away. Gave some back blackjack. The pool is lovely. I went and saw the fish, played outside a little. Noops is out here. We're going to do a live show from God knows where tomorrow, maybe this room. Tell Noops cheers. I'm having a Negroni on his behalf. Tell Kelly, can't wait to meet him. Heading out this weekend as well, obviously. Extremely jealous that you're already in Vegas at Circa. I'll cut you loose here. We'll answer more questions next time, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. That was a good turnout for a first primetime game. We are cheering for Arena Sabalenka to somehow get it done versus Iga. I'm not watching that match live, so I cannot comment on what is going on in the second half. If this is a little gamesmanship by Sabe, or if this is Iga kind of being shaken into some sort of form. But really, the last comment I want to make before I cut you loose: the Ons Jabeur U.S. Open title, it's gonna sting. It's going to sting, and I'm ready for it. I love Ons Jabeur. She's my favorite women's tennis player. There's margin there. But she should have won Wimbledon. And if she wins this championship, great. I got some price on her, but not anywhere close to what I got for Wimbledon. And we're doing that. We're doing the short.
And we'll never see those prices again on her. So.
I'm going to watch the second half of the game, and then Kelly has requested to go to a dispensary, get some drugs.
Don't know what that. I can't imagine what you're talking about.
I think we have a dinner reservation somewhere, so we will. We'll see. Appreciate you guys. Happy to be back. Let's go. Points.